The woman who destroyed the economy of Britain and caused the British pound to fall to a level he hadn't seen since 1985. All of this and more just in 1 month. Who is this woman and what did she do to cause such a crash in the UK economy? On 6 September, Truss became the Prime Minister of the UK, an atmosphere where her supporters were excited to her economic promises and a lot of doubt from her opponents that she would be able to deliver what she had promised to do. Without forgetting the fact that the economy is already suffering from 10% inflation rate, which is the highest in 40 years created by COVID pandemic as well as the consequences of the Ukrainian war. So what exactly did she promise to do? Bring in an emergency budget to lower taxes and support the cost of energy bills and non-new taxes for companies. This seems like a good, generous plan and so good to be true. So what exactly happened after that? On 23 September, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, Kwasi Kwarteng, delivered a minstrel statement entitled The Growth Plan, widely referred to it in the media as the mini-budget. That is not mini at all. And this statement contains energy bills support package worth £60 billion over the next 6 months, tax cuts plan worth £45 billion. This is what the taxes plan looks like. Reducing income tax rates from 45% to 40% for those who earn more than £150,000. Reducing income tax rate from 20% to 19% for those who earn less than £50,000. Cancellation of a plan to increase corporation tax from 19% to 25%, supposed to start in 2023. The logic of this plan is restructuring the economy by lowering taxes and creating convenient environment for companies to grow. She made it very clear that she would make unpopular decisions and stick with them whatever happened. Immediately after Kwasi announced the plan to the parliament, an earthquake crashed the market. The problem is, this plan is unfunded and the UK government does not have an alternative to this budget. In addition, it was much more beneficial for higher earners and companies. They gonna finance it by borrowing when the UK already has a gross debt more than £2.3 trillion. Plus, and it is big plus, the economy is already suffering from a huge inflation problem of more than 10%. If you ask a junior in economics school, he will tell you the first thing to do to control inflation is to slow down the economy by reducing the supply of money in circulation, which tends to lower inflation and moderate economic activity. Without a budget to fund their tax-cutting and spending policies, in addition it will make inflation worse, economists widely condemned the policies, which caused investors to panic and start selling their assets in the UK to escape this collapsing economy. As a result, it caused the biggest one-day move on record in currency markets. The pound dropped against the US dollars to 1.04, and this is just the beginning of the chaos. The massive panic happened in the bonds market, which caused a wave of selling of the UK bonds. The interest rate on long-dated government bonds has kept rising, climbing to 4.8%, trying to face the wave of selling the bonds, which will cause all the economy to collapse. The drop in the pound and the bond shock make a real threat to the economy, leaving many Britons facing higher mortgage rates and real threat to Britain's retirement savings. And when they asked Kwasi, he said, the market will react as they will. It is just a few days and the markets will stabilize again. With a bunch of meaningless words, Truss and her government tried to calm down the markets and the investors. But the earthquake is still active in the markets because no one trusts this reckless plan. On the night of 27 September, the Bank of England was informed by a number of LDI fund managers that it was likely that these funds will have to begin the process of winding up the following morning. If you don't know what LDI funds do, they manage Britain's retirement savings. Immediately in the next morning, on Wednesday 28 September, the Bank of England decided to intervene and announces a gilt market operation. Until the 14th of October, the bank will allocate £65 billion to buying UK government bonds. The bank will carry out temporary purchases of long-dated UK government bonds from 28 September. The purpose of these purchases will be to restore orderly market conditions. The purchases will be carried out on whatever scale is necessary to effect this outcome. It was so bad that the Bank of England felt compelled to intervene by offering to buy government bonds. If the bank did not do this intervention, the UK was going to have a crisis. It is nothing compared to 2008 crisis. The funny thing is, every day the 14th October gets closer, the market panics more because the bank will step back and leave the market in the hands of the government. The only way to calm the panic is to reassure the investors, and no one will be calm until they abandon this stupid plan. However, being stubborn does not bring results in the financial market. 10 days after the announcement of the mini-budget, the first backup from the government was announced on 3 October. The government will not proceed with abolishing the 45% income tax rate. But this step did not solve anything, cause it represents just 2 billion from the 45 billion tax cutting plan. That's mean 43 billion still not funded. After 10 days and under tremendous pressure on the government, the Prime Minister announced a return to the previously planned increase in the corporation tax rate to 25%. This decision will increase the tax income for the government with £19 billion. There are still £24 billion unfunded. Liz Truss has to explain how she will replace them. In the same day, Liz Truss fired Kwarteng after 38 days in his position as another step to reassure the market and appointed Jeremy Hunt as a Chancellor. On 20 October, after the craziest month in the history of the UK economy, Liz Truss resigned as a Prime Minister after 45 days in office. On the same day, the pound went up back to over £1.13 for every dollar. Liz Truss' economic plan was nothing more than a bold economic gamble that did not work very well. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you want to find out more. Thank you for your watching.